The 80s were a goldmine for horror films, with slashers and supernatural scares dominating the scene. But while some flicks became household names, others flew under the radar, quietly building a cult following. Here are a few 80s horror movies that deserve way more love than they get. Paul Schrader may be best known for writing Taxi Driver and Raging Bull, but he's also got a few directing credits worth noting, and Cat People is definitely one of the strangest. A highly sexualized remake of the 1942 classic, this 1982 film is about Irina Gallier, a woman discovering her connection to a race of people with feline traits. The premise is ridiculous, but that's part of the fun. The movie straddles the line between erotic thriller and horror fantasy, delivering campy, wild, over-the-top entertainment to the sound of catchy theme song by David Bowie.
Make love with me.
I'm not like you.
You can't escape the nightmare without me, and I can't escape without you.
Ken Russell, known for his bombastic style, makes Gothic a horror film like no other. The film imagines the infamous night when Frankenstein author Mary Shelley visited Lord Byron, with the writers competing to craft the scariest story. Russell's direction brings an almost demonic Lord Byron and a near-mad Mary Shelley to life, offering a unique glimpse into the minds of pre-Victorian writers who helped shape the horror genre. It's chaotic and not for everyone, but for fans of cult classics, Gothic is a hidden gem that deserves more love.
It's alive! No good. You can't run away from your own fears.
The Return of the Living Dead might not get the credit it deserves, but it's the movie that introduced the idea of brain-eating zombies to the world. While George Romero set the stage with his Night of the Living Dead series, it was Dan O'Bannon's punk rock zombie comedy that really cemented this iconic undead trait. The film is a hilarious, self-referential homage to Romero's work, packed with plenty of nods to the original while carving out its own place in horror history.
Well, say hello. The dead have risen from the grave.
Mister, there's 100 of those things out there.
How many did you say?
100? Bert, Frank, we have a little problem.
4 left. 10 right.
Christine often gets overshadowed by other Stephen King adaptations like The Shining and Stand By Me, but it's a gem in its own right. Directed by horror legend John Carpenter, Christine turned the story of a killer car into a cult classic with a unique identity. What starts as a nerdy kid buying his first car quickly spirals into a horror tale where the car, with its jealous and possessive personality, feels like an actual character. Despite Stephen King's own dislike for this adaptation, Christine remains an underrated horror classic that deserves more credit for its fun-fueled terror.
Her name's Christine.
I like that.
What is it about that car, huh?
Maybe it's just that for the first time in my life, I found something that's uglier than me.
Why do you keep butting into my life?
Stuart Gordon followed up his wild debut with Re-Animator by delivering another underrated gem, From Beyond. Loosely based on Lovecraft's short story, the film tells the grotesque tale of scientists who create a machine that lets humans see beyond normal perception, only to unleash horrors from another dimension. From Beyond manages to be both terrifying and darkly humorous, proving you don't need a big budget to make a lasting impact. This 1980s cult classic has stood the test of time and even helped inspire the 2021 miniseries The Resonator.
The philosopher Descartes believed it was the third eye.
It's not a theory, it's a fact.
Then your experiments worked.
Turn it off. Edward, shut it off.
Never. Can't you feel it? Robert, in the mind. The mind!
An American Werewolf in London is the perfect blend of horror and comedy, telling the story of two American backpackers attacked by a werewolf while traveling in England. Written and directed by John Landis, the film set a new standard in Hollywood with its groundbreaking special effects, especially the iconic transformation scene. The film's trailblazing makeup work even caught the attention of Michael Jackson, who brought Landis and makeup artist Rick Baker on board for his Thriller music video. As the first film to win the Academy Award for Best Makeup, An American Werewolf in London is a true 80s horror gem that deserves more recognition.
David, stop!
I'm going to the police. Jack was right.
Jack is dead!
Yeah, Jack is dead and 6 people are dead. There's gonna be a full moon tonight. I'm going to the cops.
Oh, be serious, would you?
You can't let them go. Should the world know our business? It's murder then. Then murder it is.
The Evil Dead might have spawned a beloved franchise with sequels, remakes, and a TV series, but the original remains an underappreciated cult classic. Introducing Bruce Campbell as Ash Williams, the film was a turning point in horror, launching Sam Raimi's career and showcasing a unique identity despite its modest $350,000 budget. While the sequel leaned more into comedy, the original pushed the limits with impressive prosthetic makeup and stop-motion effects.
I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment.
I don't care what happens to her. She's your girlfriend, you take care of her.
By 1983, horror fans were already familiar with David Cronenberg's brand of body horror. But Videodrome took it to a whole new level that most mainstream audiences just weren't ready for. It tanked at the box office. Today, though, Videodrome is rightly seen as a cult classic, blending body horror with sci-fi in a way that's unsettlingly ahead of its time. The movie follows a man uncovering corruption through a bizarre broadcast of snuff films, with hallucinatory visuals that make you question reality itself.
Soon, his visions will coalesce and become uncontrollable flesh. Videodrome is seducing Max Wren.
Please, come to me now. Come to Nikki.
John Carpenter's They Live is the perfect blend of horror and social satire, taking aim at the greed and control of Reagan-era America. In the film, aliens secretly rule society, using subliminal messages to keep people in line, a concept that's become iconic thanks to its Obey slogan. Starring Roddy Piper as a drifter who finds sunglasses that reveal the truth, They Live has become one of Carpenter's most influential movies, especially for its biting commentary and sense of humor.
Aimed at us to the truth!
Take a look. They are safe as long as they are not discovered.
I don't know what they are or where they came from, but we gotta stop them. Stay away from me. Put these on. They have us. Look at them. They're everywhere.
I've got one that can see.
Mama don't like tattletale. Now we start spilling some blood. Let's go!
Push a button.
Re-Animator is one of those underrated 80s horror films that mixes gore with a twisted sense of humor, making it both terrifying and oddly fun. Directed by Stuart Gordon, this loose adaptation of Lovecraft's story about a medical student reanimating the dead is a wild ride from start to finish. Re-Animator is a cult classic for a reason. It's weird, it's witty, and it's packed with style. It's a film that should have had a bigger impact in the horror world.
Herbert West has affected reanimation in dead animal tissue.
What are you thinking? How do you feel?
You? 15 cc's of reagent being